Well, joining me here is Jessica Barker, a cybersecurity consultant. Jessica, as I was saying, we're spending more and more on our cybersecurity, and yet these high-profile incidents, Sony, Target last year over in the States, that huge retail organisation, the attacks just keep coming. So who is gaining the upper hand here? Is it the companies or the hackers?
Unfortunately and pessimistically, I've got to say the hackers. And it's always been that way. At least now we're more aware of attacks, and when a company gets attacked and breached, they're more likely to know about it and to do something about it. Whereas in the past, they were probably being breached and didn't know. But the internet, we have to remember, is quite young still. Nobody foresaw it growing in the way that it has, or becoming used in our everyday lives and our work in the way that it has become so. And in that way, it's opened up a whole host of risks that we didn't see coming. So security wasn't built in from the start. It's often an add-on.
So it's new, it's evolving, and I suppose the key is not just how much money we're spending on trying to fight this, but how we try to fight it. And there was an interesting story out yesterday from Elon Musk, the constant reinventor of everything, really, that he put out something called a bug bounty for help with his Tesla range of cars. Just talk me through what happened there.
Sure. Well, it's increasingly common for big companies to put out bug bounties, and they use websites. So there's a very reputable website called Bugcrowd, which Elon Musk has registered with. And basically, if a hacker finds a vulnerability in his Tesla website, they can announce it via they can report it via the Bugcrowd website. They get a reward. It's only $1,000, so it's actually not that much, but they get a reward, and they also get the recognition of their skills and that they've done something and reported it in the
and a really fascinating example of a businessman, in this case Elon Musk, using the hackers to his own advantage, bring them on side. And that feeds into something in this report from RAND, doesn't it, where it talks about vulnerabilities in our cybersecurity, and it talks about these white, grey and black markets. Just explain what those are, Jessica.
Well, one thing we have to remember is hackers aren't always malicious. The hacker gets a bad name, but hackers can often be good guys, and there are many ethical hackers as well as malicious hackers. The difference between the white, the grey and the black market is that it's whether it's sort of criminal or not. So the black market is where vulnerabilities are exchanged and sold for criminal purposes and to criminal gangs. The grey market is where they're sold, according to this report, to governments, government agencies, intelligence agencies. The white market, an example of that is what Elon Musk is doing. So where vulnerabilities are found and reported and perhaps a reward is given, but in a legitimate way.
And a legal way.
Absolutely. And finding vulnerabilities can be, hackers have been prosecuted for that, even when they've tried to report it in a legitimate way. But selling vulnerabilities actually isn't illegal, which is a good example of how cybercrime has evolved in a way, and society and legislation hasn't kept pace.
Yeah. Fascinating, so many murky areas. We've run out of time, Jessica, but another really interesting thing brought out in this report is the reputational damage. Almost that's what companies worry about more than the actual data itself being stolen. Absolutely. Fascinating stuff, Jessica. Good to talk to you. Jessica Barker there, a cyber security consultant, talking us through the murky business of cyber security.